Kevin, you want to do the clap?
Are you actually recording
yes,
now?
I am recording.
Okay.
Alright, hey guys, welcome to the Evil Quacks podcast. My name is Brian Jackson, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Kevin Brady.
Also joining us this week, we have...
Me.
That's Andres. Andres is being a schmuck. Andres is always a schmuck.
Yeah.
Please tweet
that's
at...
pretty much his constant state of existence.
Please tweet at our channel telling Andres to not be a schmuck.
Okay. Oh. No.
All the comments to this video are just Andres is a schmuck.
Good. That's all I want right now. Alright, so to start things off as per usual, we're going to start things off with Evil Deeds. Evil Deeds is where our hosts all talk about something that we have done in the past that we are totally not proud of. And I guess I'll start things off for this very podcast. Kevin over. I did not start my recording after we did the clap sync. Kevin and Andres both got very mad at me, but at the same time, I am wearing a grin from ear to ear.
Okay.
We went through the whole thing. We did the whole sync. I think I asked Brian about 3 times if he was ready to sync our audio together. And he did. He like 5 minutes later, he was like, "Should I start recording now?" He was like, "Should I have started now?" I was like, Brian, this is now our 3rd episode, and you've recorded Let's Plays as well.
Our Let's Plays go easier because we can actually do the time thing with our phones because reasons.
Yeah. But that was still syncing.
Your face is still syncing.
This is true. No, this is true. Kevin, what? Do you have one of these things?
An evil deed?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever they're called. The kids call them these days.
Yeah, so yesterday, Brian and I recorded a video in Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Teaser for that coming. Look forward to that if that hasn't come out by the time this episode comes out.
If not, blame Alex.
Yeah.
Just blame Alex.
Well, I think I'm editing it, so blame me.
No, we're still blaming Alex. The joke continues.
Oh, we're blaming. Oh, right. Yeah, we're blaming Alex for everything.
You'll see why.
Yeah, but at the beginning of the video when we went to do the intro, before we started, I lassoed Brian and I tied him up, and then I put him on the back of his horse, and then made him do the intro.
It was awful. I was walking for miles.
And then I told his horse to run away, so his horse took off while he was stuck on the back of it and couldn't do anything about it.
And then Kevin told me to come back to him later on in the Let's Play to start doing our content. I mean, like, all right, Brian, now get back to me. I'm like, you did this. This is your fault. You're awful. I hate you.
Huh.
All right.
Andres, your turn.
Well, that just make me think of a time we tortured actually a player. I forget what it was. It was called something. It was one of those games that, like Ark, where like for a while there was this weird surge in games where it was like survival and like start with nothing and build up a base, but the server continues even when you're not online. So by the time you come back to the game, you've lost everything.
Oh,
like one of those games, you know, you're one of those. Like they were popular for about a heartbeat. Yeah, and I remember one of them was actually pretty amusing because you could rope people, tie them up, and then put them in like medieval torture devices, and you could be king and tax everyone, which was funny. So a friend and I, another friend, we found some guy with nothing, roped him up, started dragging him around. We locked him into the I forget what it's called, but you know when you're like bent over and your head and your hands are in this wooden like
the stock. Yeah.
The stock, yeah. So we put him into stock, and then I'll never forget how hard I was laughing because the hard part about it was that my roommate was asleep on the other side of the room, and I had to contain myself, and my body hurt from containing my laughter because as we had this man in the stock, my one friend was whipping him, just like whipping him. My other friend was using voice chat, just making sounds like ooga booga.
Jesus Christ.
And I was standing there just watching. And it was just the weirdest. And, God, the funniest thing I ever see them do. It was just, oh, God, it was pure nonsense.
Could they not, like, break out of the stock? Like, there wasn't, like, a way
No, they were trapped. It was a mean game.
Oh.
It was a mean game.
It was like
you could make a rock knife and like cut yourself out of rope, sure, but he was in the stock. It was too late.
Okay, yeah.
We were just whipping him while my one friend spooked him with goofy sounds. Oh god, it was an experience.
Yeah,
sounds
that turtle
like
didn't
one.
even give you a way out. Like when I tied up Brian, like he has an option that he could like mash circle to break out of the ropes. Like it takes a while, but like you have to like it's a possibility.
Jeez.
I guess that they were thinking like in the game feel really empowered when you were like messing around. You know, there are a lot of do what you do, and you can most likely get away with it. It didn't really make for that great of a game, trust me. But in fact, I haven't opened the game.
So we have at least
since,
confirmed
like,
that Andres is a torturer.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
awful. Solid week, boys. Solid week. All right.
Month or what time period of
Eon.
things from past.
We'll see you in 1,000 years. 1 millennia.
Something. Some unexpressed measurement of time.
Yep. All right. So moving on, we're gonna head into our game segment. Now, the topic of our episode this time around, month, eon, millennia, whatever.
This episode.
2 Kevins.
Let's do it with episode.
Jeremy, I don't know.
Yeah.
The topic we're going to talk about this time around is Red Dead Redemption 2. For any of you who might have watched the Game Awards recently, we have seen that Red Dead scored a ton of awards for itself, stealing the show, but not that elusive Game of the Year award. That went to God of War.
So my progress in the game is I finished the main story and a sizable chunk of side quests and some of the legendary hunting. Where are you at, Andres?
And I just passed the part where you're stuck on the tropical island, and did like one mission past that. So what is that, like chapter 5 or 6 or something?
So that's chapter 4.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think there's a chapter 6, is there?
There is a chapter 6. There's 6 chapters plus 2 epilogues.
Oh, okay.
But the epilogues aren't like long.
Okay. I have been intermittently playing the game, so sometimes I forget where we are narrative-wise. So do forgive me if I kind of like botch things. I'm like, where are you? Stuff like that.
Yeah. It's a long game. There's a lot of story.
It's very long, but the reason, aside from me taking time to play other games outside of it, that I don't remember is because I've been doing a lot of hunting.
Yeah, that's right. You did a lot of hunting.
Oh yeah, no, because I remember pestering you so many times, like, where is this legendary animal? He's like, check that legendary animal you got, or check the legendary animal map you got, you dingus. And I'm like, oh.
That's right. You didn't even know that it was there. You were just like, I don't know where to find legendary animals. It was like, Brian, you have a map.
And I'm like,
that's called Legendary Animal Map.
I'm just sitting there like, what?
Yeah, and there's one for fish, too, that you have to talk to a guy to get the fish one.
Okay. Yeah, because I know we already got the one from Hosea, I think it is. It was Hosea who gave you the legendary one, right?
Yeah, Hosea gives you the one after the legendary bear one.
I'm still struggling with names here and there. Arthur's Camp is big.
Yes, it is. So, all right, so general idea, general impressions, what did you guys think?
It's
so far, at least.
Beautiful.
It's very pretty.
She's pretty, but she's got a pretty grimy center.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, first glances for me. I mean, walking into the game, even just the dreary, I hate it snow world. I'm just like, I have to appreciate how much effort went into building all of this. This beautiful sprawling landscape. I can't do words today. I'm sorry.
No, it's without a doubt. The game is stunningly made. Like, all the small details too.
Mm-hmm.
And even just in the animations and the dialogue, like if you're talking to a character and like, I don't know, you bump into something and your character flips over and you'll get on the horse and they'll be like, as I was saying, like they have
they
all
have
these
that
little
all
things
implemented as like, okay, so it's kind of like, you would restart this conversation from this point and then it just transfers into the voice line. I'm like, oh, that's so clever.
Yeah, but there's like so many details like that, or even just the horse. And I did. My older brother was telling me this on Reddit. They were freaking out about the fact that the horses do shrink in the cold.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm.
Like every every like little thing. Like they have so much of it, and it really makes
much
for
stuff.
an immersive experience.
Yeah,
because it's just wow.
Yeah, I was watching my girlfriend's dad play last night, and he was like eating all of the ginseng plants that he came across. And like he got a pop up that said, "You've eaten too many of these. Your body has been like." You won't get a full effect from them. Like, stop eating them for a full day.
Oh my god!
To start getting, I was like, your body gets immunity to like health herbs that you eat. I was like, what?
Why would you want that?
I was like, calm down, Rockstar.
I mean,
please.
I understand they really do want to push realism in most of the aspects of their game, but sometimes I think it does get in the way of fun. Like
it does in a couple places, yeah.
Yeah, as I would describe it, it's realistic to a fault.
Yeah,
because like when you have to open the drawer and grab stuff or like loot bodies, sure, it's way more like believable, and animations are really crisp, and it's like really neat to see. But like after a while, you realize, God, looting is just so
it takes so long. It's boring,
time consuming, and awful. Like looting a house is holding down square and walking around and being like, come on, please be worth it. And even getting the items are not that great. Like ammo's fine, but you get like 3 bullets at a time or 6.
True. I mean, I don't often find myself having to buy bullets. Is the one thing. But do continue on this.
And I do hate like the way the items work. Like first of all, that UI sucks. Because like they're all grouped in the same thing, so you're mashing R2 to find something that you want. And I can't tell you how many times I used a thing and went, "Oh no, that recovers the core. Oh wait, no, that recovers the temporary thing. Oh wait, no, that's the yellow one. Oh wait, ugh." That keeps happening all the time, or like me shuffling through and being like, "That's not quite what I want." And it's.
Yeah,
it's just like I don't enjoy maneuvering that UI. It's not super convenient.
Yeah. I mean, on top,
there's too many systems like
running.
Like the cores, the cores sound kind of cool when they talk about them. Just like if
they're
you
reserves
eat,
almost,
and you eat too much, you gain weight, and if you eat too little, you lose weight. It's like, wow, that's a lot of detail. But then when it comes to the point of like having to make sure you're fed during the game and coming back to it, it's just kind of like. Okay.
Now I just have to stop whatever I'm doing, go all the way over this way, or stop and cook something. And then, I guess, get back on the trail whenever you can, buddy, because you have to eat, and if you don't, you're gonna be penalized for it. Sucks to suck. You should have done it earlier.
Yeah, it was like...
It is weird.
During the main story missions, I didn't mind it as much because there's, like... most of the story missions either end or start in camp, and I would usually, when I was in camp, just check to see where my cores were, and then if I was getting like even a bit low, I would just go over to Pearson, who usually makes a stew,
right,
and then just take the stew there and eat it and be like, all right, I'm good, I've had a meal and I'm recharged. But then when you do more of the like end game or side mission stuff where you're just kind of like roaming around the world, like if you're out hunting and stuff, they're like that's on you to make sure that you're fed, and odds are you're probably going to forget about it.
I do, like all the time. Like it sucks.
Like I constantly forgot about gun cleaning. Like I think I cleaned 5 guns during the course of the story, and I only cleaned them because I opened my wheel and the game had the little pop-up tooltip hint that was like, this weapon has become dirty and is in need of cleaning. Access it from the wheel, and I'd just be like, oh, that's right, that's a thing.
Yeah, and then you have to just waste your time just rubbing it down, and it's like, good thing about this is...
Oh, can we talk about the inventory space is horrible. Like 3 and 5 of them.
Because
you can only have 5 gun oils. So even if you wanted to do maintenance and clean all your stuff, like it's 5 guns and that's it.
Eventually, you'd have to turn back and then head to a gunsmith and then have them do it for you.
And sure, they're like enemies with stuff on them, but again, we went over this. It's really inconvenient to loot bodies.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Yeah. So
like those are a lot of annoying things. Even hunting legendary animals is kind of annoying. It's like ultimately you just deadeye them and light them up, so it's not really hunting. It's kind of just following this path that's there for a while, and then when they spawn, lighting them up and going about your day. So like, cause I get it, they have a lot of features that make it feel more like you're hunting, sure, but you can bypass them so easily and just do the regular goofy things any game will let you do. So it kind of undermines it, kind of undercuts that part of it, and that happens like a bit in the game. Where there's like, sure, there's immersive options here, but like you can jimmy it. And I feel like with a lot of the realistic stuff that's inconvenient, there could have been some system for you to turn it off, like an upgrade system that's equivalent to like cheats or whatever. Like no longer you have to bend over and grab stuff when you loot. You know, and like if you like bending over and grabbing stuff when you loot, you don't have to get it. But like give that option to the players who are tired of it, you know?
I can
like
agree with
that's
that.
something they could have done.
Yeah, like at the very least, like shortening it to just you bend, make one pat, and then you stand back up again. Not the whole like straddle the body, like hoist them up, rifle through their pockets, and then put them back down. Just something that's like an abbreviated animation,
or like
something
a clean all
quick.
Guns button. I'd kill for that.
Anything that
Just
could
be like, go in the store
streamline
and go-
things, especially running. Oh Lord, running.
You can actually change it to toggle
Really?
in the settings. Do that. I did that immediately.
Oh my God! Yes, I will absolutely do that.
Although you still have to mash it to go full speed.
That's the one part I have a problem with. I mean, I know they.
Yeah, no matter what, you gotta mash. It's really bad.
Yeah,
I just want to click the stick and run.
Yeah, like the way that Call of Duty does it or Borderlands does it, I like that where you just hold down right stick and then with left stick just choose a direction. It's easy. You don't have to just...
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, hold down right stick. What?
Yeah.
You know the R3 button.
What kind of
Oh wait, no, is it
sprint with
or is it L3?
You click L3.
L3.
What kind of stupid No Man's Sky are you using?
Okay, I think I just have my buttons messed up.
Yeah, it's easy to know which buttons you're pressing when the controller's in your hands, but it's so weird when you have to describe which buttons to press.
Yeah.
That's just a thing in general.
Regardless, the thing is, mashing is dumb. It also hurts your fingers.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have to ride the horse 90% of the game too.
Yeah, I know.
So to go to full speed, you gotta mash it. Oh God, I hate that. The fast travel's butts.
What fast travel?
There is like you can fast travel from the base to places, but you still gotta ride home. And
I know.
If you want to use
either that or take the train.
But you're not gonna take the train because you're always gonna have a bounty. You're always gonna accidentally run over someone and upset people.
I didn't have that much trouble.
I made an effort to not have a bounty.
So did I. But
I played really honorably. I didn't rob unless the game told me to.
You have to make an effort.
Yeah.
I get bounties because like there's a thing happening on the side of the road that's interesting, and I end up like shooting them because they shoot me.
And it's like bounty.
Yeah. So my bounty always started, and this happened more early on in the game. The bounty would happen at times, and so I don't try to get a bounty, but like it happens anyway with the way I play. So I've given up on it entirely. Like whatever. And sometimes I even let the bounty hunters kill me just to be like, all right, $20 gone. In exchange, I don't have to fight the bounty hunters, and I respawn and it's fine and they're gone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I don't. Yeah. And that's like if I'm doing that as a player, that's really concerning in your game.
Now
that I'm taking death because I don't like this thing I have to deal with. Yeah. What other inconveniences can we not stand? I think.
What else can we just rag on?
The fact that all three of your cores and like the bars are the same tiny little white circle in the corner. I never know like how much health I have until I have 0 health, and stamina like having to like dip my eye and find the right circle, because again the Deadeye circle looks the same as the health and the stamina, so taking a glance at it, it's always annoying because there's nothing differentiating those three things, and they are very different things. They should not be the same. Health is something that you have to manage
if Andres
way more
could,
than
he
Deadeye.
would be slamming his fist on the desk right now.
Yeah, I can't deal with that. It's so weird. I remember when I started the game and I was like, which one's my health? And I saw the heart and I'm like, is that my health? No way, that's my health. That's so unintuitive. No way. And when it was my health later on, I was like, that's not good.
Okay.
That's not great.
Alrighty. Anything else?
Oh, and the horses are dumb. Wait, hold on. This is the biggest problem. The horses are the stupidest horses in the world.
Have
they
you
are all
tried
brain dead. They'll have 3 IQ. They're horrible. Because you
They're
played
horses.
Horses are
like
intrinsically dumb, Andres.
Because Nintendo's like, hey, for Breath of the Wild, horses are gonna be smart. They're gonna avoid trees, and you're never really gonna crash. And I played Breath of the Wild to death, and I'm like, the horses are great in that one. And I play Red Dead, and I have hit a tree, got the horse up, then hit a tree 5 seconds later. Those are the horses in Red Dead 2.
The horse had fun hitting the tree the first time, so it wanted to do it again.
It's like it doesn't have enough
that
brain
was
damage.
Great.
Not enough concussions yet. Hold on. Yeah. So my older brother keeps making the joke of where Nintendo was like, we're going to do smart horses. And Rockstar was like, hold my beer. Hold on.
Hold my beer.
How about
we'll make
dumb as horses?
But off the horses, though, I did really like the horse bonding.
Horse bonding was nice.
Stuff, and like having
Yeah.
like having the thing that you were like had to stick with a horse, or
Yeah.
like if the horse died, that like the horse is gone. Like I got attached to my horse, and I ended up riding like the same horse through the whole story. I was just like, I like this horse. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I still
it
have
is.
mine.
Like that was nice. Like was like feeding it, petting it, like brushing it. Like that was all really nice.
I mean, like, despite how many head-on collisions I've gotten into with my horse, with other horses, my horse is strong. I appreciate him. He's doing
I started
great.
intentionally. I would intentionally bump into other people's horses because then it'll make them hostile to me, and then I could just shoot them without losing honor. Or it would kill them, and it'd be like racked up as manslaughter. So like I could kill people without caring.
Jeez, Andres.
And also because it's just like kind of me passive aggressively like hurting my horse because you're dumb and you deserve this. But
I always had problems with horse collisions with people on the road that like NPCs would be riding on like their side of the path, I'd be riding on my side of the path, and
suddenly
then,
they would swerve.
Last second they would swerve
Yeah.
across the path into my way. I'd hit them because I'm going at a gallop. I'd go flying off the horse, then they'd get up and they'd be like, "How dare you!" and start shooting at me. Just like, you got in my way.
So I guess
I
this
once was
drifts
in the
into NPC
cinematic like
interaction.
mode, and I blatantly bumped into someone, and that shouldn't happen in cinematic mode. But sure enough, I was riding, and then kaboom! I remember hearing I remember not looking at the screen, and then hearing the horse like explode and like everything, and I was like, "What?" And I looked at the screen, and there's just I'm like on the ground, and the horse on the ground. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Also,
In cinema.
I mean, on the topic of dumb horses, I remember there was a mission where you had to steal an oil wagon and bring it to the horse fence, which is the place where you sell stolen horses. Kevin, did I send this?
You had to bring it to the horse.
Yes, it was for it was one of the story missions. But you had to steal it from this oil refinery and then bring it back to the horse fence over at Emerald Ranch.
I don't remember.
Kevin,
I remember having to bring one to rob the train with John, but I don't remember having to take it to the fence. You had to take it to another spot.
Oh, that's right, because I remember... Okay, that was a weird mistake on my part, thinking it was actually at the fence. I know at one point there was a checkpoint marker at the fence, so I took it there. But then I also noticed, there's another checkpoint marker. This isn't actually supposed to be where I am. But on the topic of dumb horses, Kevin, do you remember that video I sent you? Where I had that horse on a cart. We were walking towards the barn door and couldn't back up. And when the guy opened up the barn door, like, with no more than, I don't know, like, a small amount of force. Like, it shouldn't have toppled it over, but it did. This 1-ton animal just dead. And it died.
He like lightly tapped the horse in the head, and then the horse
It collapsed and
keels over
died.
dead.
Like, Andres,
Allergic to doors.
I have to send you this video, Andres. It kills me every time I still watch it. But, like...
Yeah, the horse shenanigans are...
Horses are... I mean, I guess any horse that is in mine is just not sturdy at all.
The one thing we won't on though is the story. That's the
story
that's
was
most
good.
solid thing
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
solid.
And,
The story's so good.
yeah, so like
They
it's
won
so
that
pretty
award
and
for a
the
reason.
story is stellar. Because I love
Yeah,
the story, I love the
like-
characters, I love all the dialogue, all of it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's like the story is long, but it works well in that, with the fact that like this being a prequel to the first Red Dead Redemption, that only had 4 gang members in it, including John, who you were playing as at the time. And then now introducing this gang that has like 16 people in it. Like they take the time to like introduce you to all of the characters and like help you to get to know them and like learn who everybody is aside from Dutch, Bill, Javier, and John, and like get you attached to them before they start like pulling the threads apart, so that you don't have anything of just like, oh, person I didn't know died. Oh, dang it. Like there's just like, oh, I like that character. And it makes it even more heartbreaking with the like setting up for the first game with like as everything falls apart, seeing that it's just like, but I like the group and I don't want it to fall apart, despite the fact that I knew it was gonna fall apart
based on the first game.
Yeah, just like I know where this is going, but I don't want it to.
Stop. We can revert this.
We can change the future.
But yeah, narrative. So far, so good on my end. I haven't completed it, but I'll get there.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right,
also,
boys.
the side missions. There's a lot of good characters there too.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we didn't go into side missions, but yeah, side missions are
ones.
pretty good so far. Unless anyone. Oh, go ahead.
I thought I had a thought, and then I was like, never mind.
All right. Anything? Well, go ahead and think on it. If you do come back to it, we'll come back to it. But anything else we want to talk about for this game?
The facial hair system is fantastic. I really like how they made the at least in the single player the hair and facial hair restricted to how much you had. Like that was a detail that I really liked, so that you couldn't like walk into the barber with a shaved head and then be like, "Excuse me, sir, I would like an afro."
And he's like, no.
It's just like, dude, you need hair first.
You stupid. Get out.
Like, I really like that. Like, yeah, with the facial hair, like, where do you guys keep your Arthurs? Like,
I want to say like level 1 or 2.
You keep him pretty closely trimmed?
Yeah.
I hovered around like 4 or 5 with his beard. He looks scruffy, and I thought it was a good look.
I mean, I personally did not, but once again, matter of opinion.
Yep.
Andres, how about you? How hair? What is hair? Yes.
It's good. It's good hair.
He's good?
I always keep it super shaved, though, because I don't like it when it grows out. Although admittedly, Arthur's beard doesn't look super good on him. I don't know.
That's kind of what I thought.
His hair looks a little like the beard hair looks a little gross. Just a bit.
Yeah.
Scraggy. So on the character model doesn't look great, and I think it's like legitimately like the hair just doesn't look good in the game, like that facial hair on him. I don't know why. Maybe because it's dynamic that it ended up being less quality or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe they just got the text wrong, or I don't know. It just doesn't look that natural on him.
Yeah, I think 3 and 4 levels are like a decent kind of like full beard, but like trimmed beard. 5 is where it starts to get the like scraggly, like looks like it needs a cut now. Yeah. Which was usually my rule of thumb when I'd see it in a cutscene. I'd be like, yeah, I should probably trim that.
Yeah, I like how the cutscenes are when you're like, I need a haircut.
Yeah, that and needing a bath, because you can see all the like dirt clinging to his face. It's like, I should probably.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could take a bath. So many things.
Andres is a dirty boy.
Yeah, that means I haven't taken a bath since the beginning of the game.
My God.
Yeah, everybody in the camp must hate you. You just walk in, they just feel the stench. Like they could just smell you from like a mile away, and they're just like, "Here comes Arthur."
You walk at him, just walking up to him, and say, "Buddy," and they all just like scatter at your presence.
Hey, boy. Hey, mister.
Hey, mister. Interactions with just saying hi was always fun. I never got tired of it.
Yeah, I like waving to people.
Even when they don't wave back, and I just kind of have to like leer at them, like debating on whether I should kill you or not for not saying hi. Kill their horse, shoot him in the leg, and be like, "Oh, your horse's leg is broken on account of the fact that there's a bullet in it."
I do that every time there's a capture mission. You lose honor for killing horses, but I'm like, I need to get that guy alive, right? What else am I gonna shoot?
Yeah.
Although stabbing feels pretty good in the game. Fist fighting is really dumb, but stabbing.
Oh
with a
my!
knife
I did
feels
not
great.
like fist fighting. Fist fighting is my bane.
It's so bad.
I kind of liked it.
I like shooting was kind of good. I did like the auto aim that came with it, and then just kind of like Kevin brought up to me yesterday was you kind of take your auto aim and then look up just a little bit to get that perfect headshot.
But that's what you're doing every time when you think about it. I enjoy it enough, but like I can see why. It's not necessarily.
I also do
the
like the
best.
close-ups they give whenever you get like a headshot kill, and you're just like, yeah, bagged him.
Although that does bring up the fact that moving the cursor regularly is awful. So that you have to the auto aim is absolutely necessary. The cover system though is a bit janky. It's pretty janky.
A little.
Yeah.
I've had few problems with it, but the problems do persist.
Yeah. But killing horses.
Yeah.
Just ended there. Killing horses.
Yeah, but stabbing with the knife though, I did that so many times and my favorite weapon is the tomahawk. Those things do feel really good to kill with.
Kevin, you remember that one time I killed yesterday in Red when we were trying to start a bar fight?
We were trying to start a bar fight. Some other guys picked a fight with us. I was like, "Yup, good job, Ryan. You're really helping."
I am the greatest. Fear me.
But yeah, I guess on that note, to kind of like wrap up our thoughts. Do you play online, Andres, at all?
No, although I hear how expensive the guns are, and I'm like,
It got fixed a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, they've tweaked the economy now. Like before it was, I think you pretty much got like $5 standard out of like any mission, deathmatch, or race. Now it kind of varies based on what you do, and you get more. Like Brian and I did a mailing mission, I think, that didn't work, and we got like $10. Yeah, which we're not going to talk anymore because we recorded that. But like I've done other stuff with, like I did some stuff with Alex on Friday, that like I got paid like $10. Some stuff like $15. Like some death matches, if you win, you get paid more like $30. Like. Yeah, it varies based on it, and they brought the gun prices down. Like the Mauser pistol used to be $1,000, which was one of the most expensive guns that was in the game and online. It's now like $600.
Yeah, which is more feasible considering you just have to do like 60 of those mailing missions, and you don't even have to win.
Yeah, so like it's a little more reasonable. There's still a grind to get some of them, but it's not like a stupid number.
Right. So it is a little better.
Yeah, so they've tweaked it, and I think they said that they're going to work on more tweaks to see how it is. So I think they adjusted this now. They'll see what people think of it, and then they'll see what else they can do.
Right.
Though I know, Brian, you and I have played online several times, and I'm hoping that they add some more options for stuff when they do the full release for it, because it is still a beta right now.
Bring back the train. Bring back the train.
That was weird. Like we played one time and then we couldn't find, or like we found the train just sitting around. There's like nobody in it. It was just there, and we drove it around for a while. And then
we had
we've
great
gone
time.
back more recently, and the train hasn't been there, and it's kind of weird.
So we're hoping it's coming back or it got pulled so they could implement robberies and stuff with that.
That's the thing I want them to put in, because as of right now there isn't really an option to rob anybody outside of a mission. Like you can't rob NPCs or stores or the train, or really station wagons. And I feel like it kind of undercuts being an outlaw.
Yeah,
since I can't rob anybody.
And can't you not rob
How am I
a
supposed
bank
to be
yet?
an outlaw?
No, you can't rob the bank either. There's nobody in there.
You can't rob stores either.
It's weird. So I'm hoping that's something that's coming in the future, because I think that would be something really good to have.
Are there online matches yet?
Like
I played
matches,
a bunch of Red Dead. I loved Red Dead 1 a lot, and I played the online of that a bunch and got really good with the bolt action. Hold on.
Yeah, there's... Here, while Andres is doing that.
Okay, anyway, I played a lot of... I'll just pretend I'll start over that.
Later,
but
then.
like, I played a lot of Red Dead Online. I got really good with the bolt action, shooting people in the face with that. So there were a lot of good memories there. So I was wondering if that stuff was back. But I probably, based off how I feel about Red Dead 2, I probably won't play. I got smashed, I'm gonna play that.
Yeah. The death matches are fun. They have I think 3 types of death matches, where there's single like solo death matches. There's team death matches that have capture the point stuff in it. Where there's like 5 points and you have to capture it and hold it, and like holding the point gives you more points over time. And then there is a battle royale mode where everybody's put in a certain area, the map shrinks. They're like standard stuff, but they give you a weapon restriction. I've seen just a bow and arrow, and I've seen just throwing knives.
I would like just tomahawks.
I don't know if there's just tomahawks,
no,
but I'm not saying there isn't. It could be an option.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's online. All right. What's next?
Mm-hmm. What is next? Well, if we've got nothing else to talk on Red Dead...
Brian,
yes?
Brian, Alex has sent me his No Malone review, if we want to pick up the thread from last time.
No.
He apparently actually watched the movie.
No Malone. Oh, No Malone.
Yeah.
No. No. Just no.
Oh, no.
What's next? What's next?
All right, let's summarize it to say if it's good or bad.
I think it's bad. He says there's like when Ben Kenigsberg of the New York Times said the problem with Sherlock Gnomes is that this universe seems limited in possibilities. Imagine Toy Story with one kind of toy. He clearly did not expect to see another gnome-themed movie.
Jeez.
And I should remind you that this movie has no connection to the Romeo and Juliet cinematic universe at all.
Yeah.
Oh no, the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna leave that on that note. Alex can tell you all about it in person next.
Yeah. So
I'm
anyway,
sure he wants to show off his work there.
No. Anyway, what's next?
So next up, since we're I guess done talking about Red Dead, would be Hall of Villainy. Hall of Villainy is where we all nominate a villain of our choice to be in a poll that we will put out later on Twitter, I believe.
Twitter and Patreon. It goes
Twitter
up
and
on
Patreon.
both.
Okay, I was about to say, is it also on Patreon? Okay,
Yeah, it goes
so
up
is
on
there.
both, and then
Good.
fans can vote there on which villain of the ones that we suggest they think should be inducted into our Hall of Villainy.
Okay.
And since this is the first episode we're recording, since the last two have gone up, we could talk about the fact that Brian has managed to win both of the last two with his villains of Handsome Jack and Ridley through sheer dumb luck.
Hey, it's not that dumb.
No, yes, it was
I would
dumb
say
luck
it's
because Alex
lesser
tagged.
IQ.
It was dumb luck because Alex decided to tag a Handsome Jack roleplay account that retweeted the poll that
And then
just told
sent
everybody
it out
to
to
vote for
people, and we won. So
So you got a
Alex
signal
doomed
boost.
himself.
He did.
That is cheating.
But
And then how did we win Ridley? Was that
I think
just legitimately?
I think that one was just legitimately. My pick wasn't really any good. And then I don't know why Valentine didn't do too well.
Yeah, Valentine should have done better. But hey, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, though off of Alex's notes, he did have one thing that he wanted to bring up about that. That if hang on, it says that Brian is a lucky butt cake that was fortunate enough to have a Handsome Jack Twitter account rig the poll for himself.
Wait. He summoned that Twitter account.
He did.
He did this to himself. Alex, you're the butt cake.
He also says, if Brian wins again, I'm officially calling and implementing new rules that forbids nominators to nominate someone after they successfully induct someone into the hall. And then allowing anyone to punch Brian in the kidney.
Whoa.
Oh, this is all way too aggressive.
Whoa. I agree.
Yeah.
Alex needs to tone it down a bit. And let me punch him.
All right, so who are our villains?
All right. Considering I did not come into this podcast with
Do you want to take some time to think of one, Brian?
No, I have one.
You have one? Okay, good.
Will he get a good explanation that actually lines up with how we do Hall of Villainy? Absolutely not.
Well, give it your best bet. Just try your best, Brian.
Micah.
Oh, okay.
My vote is Micah. He sucks. Everybody hates him. He is the psychopath of the group. He kills people. That's pretty
Not really a
evil.
villain.
He's a villain.
He's a
He's a
problematic
villain in
ally.
my eyes.
It's problematic.
He is an antagonist.
Villain. Well, there you go, kids.
That's all you got?
I came up with this 2 minutes ago. What do you want?
Nothing about like how he's he has Dutch's ear and is like constantly whispering bad advice.
I mean,
and
if you want to keep boosting my choice, sure.
Well, I want it to at least have a little more behind it other than just Micah. He's annoying. Done.
Well, here's basically
like every mission's a pain because he takes it off the rails when like you try to break him out of jail. He ends up being like, no, we're not just leaving. We're going to shoot the entire town and then we're leaving.
Yeah. He sucks.
And it's just unnecessary.
He's a murderer.
Yeah. What's Kevin's?
That's me.
What's Kevin's? Tell us yours.
I was gonna go Dutch.
Oh.
Because I think Dutch is a good villain. Yeah, which I don't think is really a spoiler because that's kind of a position he takes in the third. Though I would say that he's more antagonist than like true villain, but like I think he's a really interesting pick, especially with the Red Dead because with Red Dead 2 because his arc through the game is very much his move from that charismatic leader that got this group of like 16 people together, and you see what everybody loves about him, and having trouble adapting with the end of the Old West and like civilization encroaching. Like constantly he is making decisions that like back in the day probably would have worked, but like at the moment they're not good ideas. Like, the decisions with like while trying to be in hiding because they have government agents tracking them, like, and like having made threats of like, we're close, we're on to you. Dutch is like, well, let's go into town and rob the bank. I'm just like, what?
No, this is a bad idea.
He's like, we need money to leave. It's like, Dutch, we are wanted fugitives.
Doing
like
this with
they're waiting
suicide.
for us. Like this, we're pretty much gonna just walk into the trap. That's what they expect us to do. And he's like, well, it's always worked in the past. Just like, well, Dutch, times are changing. And just like his stubborn insistence on the like what's worked will always work, and that like the times are different and things are changing, and you can't keep relying on the same thing. It's kind of tragic in his shift.
It's his downfall.
Yeah, like his stubborn refusal to change, causing the pain on those that he cares the most about, as he like has this downward spiral of suspecting of insistence on not changing, and then when the things that have always worked not working, he doesn't really reflect on it and be like, well, maybe it was part of the plan and that the plan was flawed from the beginning. He just immediately starts pointing fingers at the people that question him before the missions. Like, if you do the like before the robbery, if somebody's like, that's a bad idea, we shouldn't do it because times have changed and it's just not going to work because we have government agents following us. Instead of Dutch being like, yeah, they were right, there was government agents like 3 doors down, there was reason to expect that they'd have a quick turnaround in response time. Dutch is instead just like, it's your fault because you doubted me, and I've got everybody doubting me, which is why we can't get anything done. And it's tragic, especially with like seeing how much everybody supports him early on.
Like, he really starts to become more paranoid, like, very early on. Even in Chapter 2, I'm starting to see it, like, where he is freaking out. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, and it only gets worse back into the first Red Dead. Like, he's very paranoid in the first game and kind of, like, off the rails and suspecting stuff of everybody. And he's a pretty cold killer in the first game. Like, he has a bit when you meet him while you're playing as John that, like, he breaks into the government office in Blackwater and then like takes a lady hostage, and then you have this whole talk while he's got the gun pointed to the back of the lady's head, and John's like, come on, Dutch, let's just talk this out. And then when Dutch leaves, he shoves he's like, take the lady as a gift, John, and shoves her at him, then turns and shoots her in the back of the head and then runs.
Jesus.
It's like, geez, Dutch. So like he continues on the downward spiral, like into the future with when the first game rolls around in the timeline, and it's really heartbreaking to see, especially knowing where things used to be and like how the gang was in its heyday.
Okay, so yeah, Dutch is a good choice. Andres, what have you brought for the class today on this show and tell?
I'm gonna say Bowser. Okay, it was a complete different direction from your two guys.
He's not a rootin', tootin', shootin' cowboy.
Nah, well, he's been dressed like one before, I'm sure.
Yeah, he has.
So, like, I think Bowser, first of all, is definitely a real OG. He's a real original, one of the first real iconic baddies.
He's an original villain.
Yeah, so he's great for that, and yeah, he's a mechanics kind of villain. You know that. You know what I mean by that?
Traps, stuff like
that?
No.
As in, like, he doesn't really serve a narrative purpose. He's more of just a challenge.
He's just a bad guy for a bad guy.
Yeah, because, you look at his boss fights and what he offers, he's really just challenging you with mechanics, where Mario has to jump this or do some kind of thing with the mechanics in order to triumph over him. It's not really like a story reason, like a super, big story reason as to why he's doing what he's doing, and ultimately the fight just becomes, you have to tackle some tough mechanics and then, you're good. But I still think mad respect for him because here's why I've come to respect Bowser insanely. And this is not just because I'm also trying to get good with him in the new Smash Bros. So, because he's actually
Bowser's a very
he's
good
super
character.
fast in Smash, and it's really amusing.
Yeah, he is.
And he was always my favorite heavy. But anyway. So, think about this though. Think about how his tenacity for continuously kidnapping Peach, even though it's not the most beneficial thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He keeps trying, right? And then look at his army and the fact that pretty much the entire Mushroom Kingdom is on his side because he has all the Goombas, all the Koopas and the Shy Guys and the Hammer Bros. These are citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom, and they're all working for him. I'm pretty sure there are more people working for him than there are Toads in the castle. Period.
Yeah, because I think Peach only has the Toads.
Yeah,
that's it.
She's got them, and Bowser has literally everyone else. If you think about it, he's really the majority here, and if they're feeling underrepresented, or if they want to go with what their corrupt king wants, then at what point does she become a diplomat and just go, all right, Bowser, okay, I can see that you and 4/5 of the Mushroom Kingdom, no, probably 9/10 of it, clearly want me kidnapped. I'll give up, or make some kind of truce here, because this is really concerning.
We'll sign a treaty, or I don't know.
It's probably not 9/10. I mean, you've seen Delfino Plaza and whatnot. But anyway, so
also there's a bunch of worlds out there, according to Odyssey, that are on the princess's side.
But
yeah, but also what in one of the older manuals for one of the older Mario games, wasn't there something in the book that said that the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom got turned into the bricks?
Yes,
in the world.
So
that's where they all went.
Maybe. But then that makes Mario more of a murderer than he already is. Because if you think about it, Mario's a homicidal psychopath who kills all of Bowser's minions, who are just people working for the king, So, it's pretty gruesome. But anyway, so Bowser has all the support. And he keeps failing and he keeps trying, but he's got all the support and whatnot. He's even got kids, man. He's got kids.
He's got a
lot of kids.
He's got kids.
So he's an adult, regardless if you look at it, as well as all these machines. So he's investing his money in whatnot. But on top of all that, at the end of the day, Bowser will put down all of his crap, walk up, and then play baseball with Mario like nothing. Then he'll play soccer with Mario like nothing. He'll go to have a party with him like nothing. Bowser will just drop everything and play games with his mortal enemies like nothing. And you know why? Because the respect between him and everyone else, he harasses them so much that they know him so well, and they've come to respect that there are times where he is not doing what he usually does, and will actually keep him have company. Because most people who kidnap you on a regular basis, you would never let them in your home. But there are times where no, it's Bowser, we know him, It's not because he's a joke, because at any point he could turn this and become a real problem. But we know him, we do kind of like him, we just want to hang out because he's being nice right now, and it's nice when he's nice. So there's just this respect where they can just have all their Mario parties and all their sports games, and Bowser just be one of the crew and just hang out with them. And then when they're done, he'll be back to his old things.
Maybe that's where all the main series games start. Is
after they play baseball,
a main game. He kidnaps Peach, and then he's like, "I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what came over you. Can
it was a moment.
Go-karting?" Then they're like, "Yeah, you can come over go-karting." And then when they're done go-karting, he's like, Thanks for inviting me, guys. And then grabs Peach and runs.
Yeah. So, like, it's just the maturity of being able to be like, all right, I lost fair and square. Let's play party together. Like, let's go do go-karts, Mario. Like, I lost fair and square last time. All right, I won't do anything right now. Let's just play go-karts. Mario's like, yeah, Bowser, I know. It's cool. And then they play Mario Kart. And after that, I was just like, all right, I'm going back home. just that relationship is profound, and that's why
Bowser.
that's why I love Bowser. So that relationship is so profound that they're like.
I still like that. That's why they said that they came up with the what are they called, the bunny things in Odyssey, the Brood. Like that was why they used them instead of the Koopalings.
Yeah,
because they were like, we've been go-karting with them so many times that we can't take them seriously as villains.
Yeah, but like Bowser though, we can still take him as a villain. So yeah, it's a hell of a relationship. What a guy. I mean, can you imagine that when you're having a party and you're like, all right, who should we invite? My brother, my girl's friend, who's dating my brother, my good friend, the guy who's like works for my girl, the guy who kidnaps my girl on a regular basis, the kidnapper's son, the kidnapper's goons. Like when you do that,
Mario listing that, and like Luigi's right there, and they're just like, yep, the kidnapper's son, and just like, wait, hang on, what?
It's like, no,
And the gorilla who
Mario,
has a
I really
tie.
don't think. Like, no, it's cool.
Nah. Luigi,
And I'll beat him
we
up
gotta
if
forgive.
it gets out of hand. I'll beat him up. It's all right. It's just, that's such a profound relationship. I love it. I just love it. So Bowser is the man.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead, cast your votes over on Twitter and Patreon. We'll wait. Vote for Micah.
Cast your votes for Dutch.
Cast your vote for Micah because make Brian win again.
No, don't make Brian win. He barely put any effort into that one.
That is correct, and that's why I should win.
No, definitely not.
Or vote for Bowser. Bowser's also a good choice.
No, don't vote for Bowser either. He's
don't
too
vote
nice.
for Dutch. All right, everybody against Kevin. Don't vote for Dutch.
But what makes him such a good villain is that he's like willing to hang out, but then like still wants what he wants, and will still go out and get it regardless. Like the man respects.
All
that,
right,
man. Come on.
All right, so that pretty much does it for this diabolical episode of the Evil Quacks podcast. Thank you to our guests, I suppose just guest, Andres, for joining us this episode. And I have been Brian Jackson, along with my co-host,
Kevin Brady.
Good job for saying words, Kevin.
I don't know why you don't just say my name.
Because, I don't know, maybe you'd like to say something.
I said plenty of stuff during the podcast. It's not like I sat here quiet the whole time.
Well, yes, okay, fine, sure, whatever. You suck. I hate you. Alright, make sure to follow us over on Facebook and Twitter over at Evil Quack Studios, as well as seeing us over on our Patreon, and possibly donating if you can. And so, we will see you on the next episode, and remember to always be evil. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.